Phase 3 trials of a leading COVID vaccine candidate have been suspended after a study participant came down with an unexplained illness.
This was a vaccine being developed by AstraZeneca in collaboration with the University of Oxford. It's seen as the most promising contender among all COVID vaccines being developed globally. In a statement, AstraZeneca said the suspension was routine and that an investigation into the illness was underway.
AstraZeneca is pausing its clinical trials of its vaccine because of what they say is an unexplained illness in one of the volunteers.
The coronavirus vaccine candidate developed by University of Oxford and AstraZeneca was in Phase 3 clinical trials in the UK, US, Brazil, and South Africa. The trials were abruptly suspended on Tuesday after a study participant developed mysterious side effects. The BBC says it's the second time trials have been halted for this vaccine candidate.
It is not uncommon to pause a clinical trial. They, of course, need to see what the reason is.
According to a BBC medical correspondent, any time a volunteer is admitted to the hospital and the cause of their illness is not known, the study they were participating in is suspended. A decision on restarting the trial can be made in a matter of days, according to the author. Prior to the incident, this vaccine candidate was seen as a leading contender for mass production. The sudden halt has renewed global public fears over the safety of COVID vaccines.
Someone like you, who wants things to go back to normal?
According to the World Health Organization, there are at least 7 vaccine development projects that have reached Phase 3 trials. This last step in the process requires large-scale testing on humans and is an important step in determining whether the vaccines are safe. About 30,000 participants are involved in Phase 3 of the AstraZeneca vaccine candidate.
We're producing a vaccine in record time. This is a vaccine that we're going to have very soon, very, very soon, by the end of the year, but much sooner than that, perhaps.
The global race for a vaccine has only intensified fears of safety problems. On Tuesday, 9 vaccine developers, including AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and GlaxoSmithKline, signed a pledge, moving to ease concerns that safety would be compromised under political pressure.
We will develop our products, our vaccines, using the highest ethical standards and the most scientific rigor processes.
We've got to regain the trust of the community about when we say something is safe and effective, they can be confident that it is safe and effective. And that's the reason why we have to be very transparent with the data.
On Wednesday, Taiwan's health minister Chen Shizhong said developing a vaccine usually takes decades. He said that due to the COVID emergency, countries were compressing their timelines, but were not shortening the observation periods of clinical trials.
观察期没有完成的时候，事实上各国都不会发药证。
If the observation period hasn't ended, these countries will not approve the vaccine. At most, these countries will authorize vaccines for emergency use after a certain degree of scientific evidence is gathered in Phase 3. Everyone is racing against time.
Chen said countries with severe outbreaks may ease rules for emergency use authorization. He said that countries like Taiwan, where the situation is controlled, can afford to test vaccines longer to ensure their safety.